Most people struggle every single day. They wake up with intentions, lists, and goals, but by the end of the day, they feel exhausted, frustrated, and behind. They read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos, and still, nothing seems to stick. Effort alone doesn't create mastery. Knowledge without execution doesn't create results. And hope without action, it's just wishful thinking. The harsh truth is this: struggle isn't caused by external circumstances. It isn't about luck, timing, or being talented enough. Struggle comes from one overlooked source: the lack of mastery over your own mind, your routines, and your decisions. Until you identify and control this, you will continue to face the same obstacles, repeat the same mistakes, and feel the same sense of helplessness. Think about it. How often have you promised yourself, "Tomorrow I'll focus. Tomorrow I'll do better," only to wake up and fall into the same patterns? How often have you felt overwhelmed by distractions, opinions, and the endless noise of life, thinking, "If only I had the right circumstances, I'd succeed"? The reality is, the circumstances rarely change. The only thing you can change is yourself, your approach, your habits, your mindset. This audiobook is your blueprint. In the next 90 minutes, you'll discover 10 actionable steps, strategies, habits, and mindset shifts that, when applied consistently, will ensure you never struggle in the same way again. You'll learn how to take full ownership of your life, control your focus, manage your emotions, and build habits that compound into lasting success. Here's what we'll cover in the chapters ahead. Identify the hidden barrier. Recognize the unseen forces holding you back. Own your mindset. Take complete responsibility for your thoughts and beliefs. Cut the noise. Remove distractions, comparisons, and mental clutter. Daily rituals of winners. Establish simple, repeatable routines that drive results. Train your focus. Learn the techniques to sustain deep, uninterrupted attention. Build resilience through discomfort. Embrace challenge to grow stronger. Master emotional control. Respond deliberately instead of reacting impulsively. Execute with precision. Transform ideas into consistent, effective action. Track and measure. Progress. Know exactly what's working, what's not, and adjust. Sustain mastery. Daily. Cement these practices until they define your identity. Each chapter is designed as a mini training session. We'll begin by exposing the truth, dissect the principle, then provide micro actions you can apply immediately. These are not theoretical suggestions. They are practical exercises that, when followed, will compound into mastery. Before we begin, take a moment. Look at where you are today. Be honest with yourself. Where are you struggling? Which habits keep you trapped in cycles of frustration? Which thoughts hold you back from taking decisive action? Recognize them. Write them down. Accept them. And know this: by facing these truths directly, you've already taken the first step toward mastery. Now, let's set the expectation. This is not about motivation, hype, or temporary inspiration. This is about real work, daily discipline, and intentional action. You will be challenged, you will feel uncomfortable, you will question yourself. But if you commit fully by the end of this audiobook, you will have the tools and mindset to never struggle in the same way again. Here's the key mindset to hold on to as we move forward. Clarity over confusion. Know exactly what you want and why. Discipline over impulse. Take consistent action even when you don't feel like it. Consistency over bursts. Small, repeated actions compound into enormous results. Ownership over blame. Accept full responsibility for your outcomes. Picture your life 90 days from now. You've applied these principles. You're no longer reacting to chaos, but intentionally shaping your days. You wake up with purpose, execute with focus, and move confidently toward your goals. Struggle is no longer your constant companion. It's a distant memory. Now, take a deep breath. Let's begin. The first step to mastering this and never struggling again starts right now. Chapter 1. Identify the hidden barrier. Most people go through life feeling stuck. They wake up with plans and intentions, only to end the day exhausted, frustrated, and behind. They blame circumstances, lack of opportunities, or the people around them. But here's the truth. The biggest barriers are rarely outside of you. They live in your mind. They live in your habits. They live in the small, repeated decisions you make every day. Until you identify these hidden barriers, you will continue to struggle, no matter how hard you try. Think about your daily routine. How often do you react instead of act? How often do you let distractions pull you away from what truly matters? Most people are driven by the urgent, the noisy, the tempting, and the easy. These small forces accumulate, shaping a life of reactive frustration rather than intentional progress. The struggle is not in the tasks themselves. It's in how you approach them, how you think about them, and how you allow your environment and your mind to control you. The first step toward mastery is awareness. You must see the invisible. You must call out the patterns that hold you back. Maybe it's the endless scrolling on social media, checking emails first thing in the morning, or letting every notification dictate your focus. Maybe it's self-doubt whispering that you're not capable, smart enough, or disciplined enough. Maybe it's the fear of failure stopping you before you even begin. These are all hidden barriers. They are subtle, almost imperceptible, but they define the difference between those who thrive and those who remain stuck. To uncover your barriers, pause for a moment and reflect honestly. Ask yourself, what thoughts do I entertain that limit my actions? What routines do I follow that drain energy instead of creating results? Where do I give away my focus without realizing it? The answers are uncomfortable. They might reveal laziness, procrastination, fear, or indecision. Accept them. Own them. Do not run from the truth. The very act of naming these barriers weakens their grip. Recognition is power. Awareness is the first form of action. Once you see these barriers, you must dissect them. Break them down into 3 main categories: mental, emotional, and environmental. Mental barriers are the beliefs and assumptions you hold about yourself and the world. Emotional barriers are the fears, anxieties, and unresolved feelings that interfere with decision-making. Environmental barriers are the external distractions, influences, and obligations that sap your energy. By separating these, you gain clarity. You stop blaming circumstances and start taking control over what you can actually influence. Here's a practical approach. Take a notebook. List every recurring frustration, obstacle, or recurring moment where you feel stuck. Then, ask why each exists. Keep asking why until you reach the root cause. For example, if you constantly fail to finish projects, the first why might be poor time management. The next why might be lack of focus. The next why might reveal a habit of reacting to every distraction instead of prioritizing tasks. This exercise is uncomfortable because it forces honesty, but it is necessary. You are shining a light on the darkness that has kept you limited. Next, examine your reactions to these barriers. Notice when you excuse, rationalize, or justify inaction. Most people are unaware of how often they give themselves permission to remain stuck. I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I feel ready. I'm too tired, too busy, or not capable enough. These are the soft chains that hold you back. Mastery begins when you stop excusing, stop waiting, and start acting despite discomfort. The hidden barrier is not the challenge itself. It's your hesitation, your inaction, and your inability to face it head-on. It is also crucial to recognize patterns over time. Barriers are rarely one-off events. They repeat, adapt, and reinforce themselves. If you find yourself frustrated in the same areas, facing similar struggles month after month, that is a signal. Your hidden barriers are alive, and they are shaping your life. You cannot simply hope they go away. You must confront them, understand them, and dismantle them piece by piece. Here's a simple but powerful practice. Every morning for the next week, write down one area where you struggled yesterday. Next to it, write why it happened. Then, write one action to prevent it today. This keeps awareness high and turns insight into action. Over time, the accumulation of these small interventions dismantles barriers you never even noticed. Remember, mastery is not about perfection. It's about seeing clearly, acting deliberately, and building momentum. The hidden barriers are not meant to be dramatic or obvious. They are subtle, persistent, and deeply ingrained. Your job is to shine a spotlight on them, take responsibility, and begin the work. The moment you commit to this, you step into a different category of people. Those who act despite resistance, who see beyond temporary discomfort, and who gradually eliminate struggle from their lives. This chapter is about recognition and honesty. It's about calling out the invisible obstacles that have dictated your life without your consent. You will not remove them all today. You will not eliminate them perfectly. But by identifying them, by naming them, and by understanding their nature, you are already taking the first step toward freedom. The path ahead is clear. Notice, analyze, act. Awareness dismantles hidden barriers, but action cements mastery. The struggle is not permanent. The struggle is a signal, and when you recognize and confront it, you gain control, you gain momentum, you gain power over your life. Face the barriers you cannot see. Only then can you rise beyond struggle. Chapter 2. Own your mindset. Most people spend more time reacting to what happens around them than shaping what happens within them. They allow doubt, fear, and past experiences to dictate their decisions, their energy, and their results. The truth is simple. Your mindset determines everything. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your beliefs shape your results. If you want to stop struggling, the first thing you must master is your own mind. Think about the inner dialogue that runs through your day. How often do you catch yourself saying, "I can't," "I'm not ready," or "this is too hard"? These thoughts are subtle, almost invisible, yet they shape the way you act, or fail to act. Every self-limiting belief, every mental hesitation, every doubt compounds over time. By the end of the week, these small thoughts accumulate into tangible obstacles, holding you back from progress. If you do not take ownership of your mindset, no strategy, no plan, and no external advice will change the outcome. The first step to owning your mindset is awareness of thought patterns. Pay attention to the thoughts that appear automatically. Notice the ones that discourage you, make you feel small, or sap your energy. These are the hidden scripts running in the background. When you identify them, you have the power to interrupt them. Awareness is the gateway to choice. Until you see what's happening inside, you cannot act intentionally. Once you've identified these thoughts, challenge them. Ask yourself, are they true? Are they helpful? Are they aligned with the person I want to become? Many people operate under assumptions they never question, believing limitations that exist only in their minds. Confronting these assumptions is uncomfortable, but it is the foundation of mastery. Doubt loses its power the moment you examine it critically. Fear begins to shrink the moment you face it directly. Next, replace limiting beliefs with empowering alternatives. For every "I can't," write, "I can figure it out." For every "I'm not ready," write, "I will prepare and act." For every "it's too hard," write, "This is how I grow." Repetition strengthens these new beliefs until they become automatic. Your brain begins to operate on possibility instead of limitation. Your actions align with your intentions, and the struggles caused by mental barriers diminish. Mindset is also shaped by how you interpret your experiences. When failure occurs, and it will, what story do you tell yourself? Do you see it as proof that you're not capable, or as feedback that points you toward adjustment and growth? People with a fixed mindset see failure as a judgment. People with an owned mindset see failure as data. By consciously reframing experiences, you take control of your internal narrative. You decide whether challenges define you or refine you. Practical exercises accelerate ownership of your mindset. Start each day by writing down 3 empowering statements about yourself and your capabilities. Reflect on yesterday's actions and ask, what mindset helped me succeed, and what mindset held me back? When faced with challenges during the day, pause and ask, am I responding from limitation or intention? Over time, these small habits shift your thinking, your confidence, and your capacity to act. Another critical element is focus. Your thoughts should be directed, not scattered. Ownership of mindset is not just about eliminating negative thoughts. It's about intentionally cultivating constructive, forward-moving thoughts. Direct your attention to what matters most. Protect your mental energy as fiercely as you protect your time. When distractions arise, remind yourself, this is not my focus. My mind is mine to command. Remember, owning your mindset is not a one-time achievement. It is a daily commitment. Every choice, every word, every reflection reinforces or erodes the control you have over your mind. Most people allow outside forces to pull them in 1,000 directions, but mastery comes from consistent internal alignment. You cannot control every event, but you can control your response. You cannot control others, but you can control your interpretation and action. Finally, recognize that mindset mastery is the lever that amplifies every other principle. Without ownership of your thoughts, all strategies, habits, and tools will have limited effect. With ownership of your mind, every action becomes purposeful. Every challenge becomes an opportunity. Every struggle becomes a stepping stone. This is the key to never struggling in the same way again. Take a moment now. Pause. Breathe. Reflect on your current beliefs. Ask yourself, which thoughts are holding me back? Which beliefs are lifting me forward? Choose consciously which scripts you will play today. This is the moment where struggle begins to fade and mastery begins to rise. You own your mind. You own your choices. You own your life. From this point forward, let your thoughts serve you, not control you. Chapter 3. Cut the noise. Every day, the world bombards you with information, opinions, and distractions. Social media updates, emails, news alerts, and other people's expectations constantly compete for your attention. Most people don't realize that the majority of their struggle comes not from what they face, but from what they let in. Noise, both external and internal, erodes focus, drains energy, and keeps you trapped in a reactive state. If you want to stop struggling, the first step is to cut the noise. External noise is obvious. Notifications pinging, messages arriving, meetings, and endless social updates. But internal noise is just as powerful. Worry about the future, regret over the past, self-doubt, and imagined failures. These internal narratives loop endlessly in your mind, feeding anxiety and indecision. Until you learn to silence both, your energy will be scattered and your results limited. The first action is to identify the sources of distraction. Take a day to observe yourself. Note every time your attention is pulled away from what matters. Is it your phone, emails, a colleague interrupting, or maybe your own thoughts about things that don't serve your purpose? Awareness is critical. Without knowing what is stealing your focus, You cannot stop it. Next, establish clear boundaries. Turn off notifications on your phone, computer, and other devices during focus blocks. Set defined periods where you check messages instead of reacting immediately. Protect your time as if it were the most valuable asset you own, because it is. Most people spend their days reacting, not acting. By controlling your exposure to distractions, you take the first step toward mastery. Internal noise requires a different approach. Thoughts like, "I'm behind," "I'll never catch up," or "I'm not ready," feed stress and prevent progress. When these thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment. Pause. Take a deep breath. Then refocus on the next actionable step. The goal is not to eliminate thinking entirely, but to direct your mind intentionally. You decide what deserves attention and what is irrelevant. Creating a clean mental and physical environment is also vital. A cluttered desk mirrors a cluttered mind. Clear your workspace of unnecessary items. Remove apps or websites that tempt you to procrastinate. Surround yourself with cues that promote focus, clarity, and productivity. When your environment aligns with your purpose, your mind follows. Another strategy is to limit exposure to other people's opinions and expectations. Most struggle comes from trying to meet invisible standards or reacting to criticism. You cannot control what others think or say, but you can control how you respond. Decide whose voices matter and whose do not. Limit interactions that drain energy and reinforce doubt. Protect your mental space as rigorously as you protect your time. Practical exercises make this principle actionable. Schedule 3 blocks of focused work daily, each free from external interruptions. Write down the top 3 priorities for each block. Each time internal doubts arise, note them in a journal, then return to the task. Over time, this trains your mind to resist distraction and sustain attention on what truly matters. Cutting noise also involves simplifying your commitments. Many people struggle because they say yes to too much. Learn to decline requests, postpone non-essential tasks, and focus on activities that align with your goals. Saying no is not selfish. It's necessary for clarity and progress. Every unnecessary yes fuels noise, drains energy, and keeps you from mastery. Finally, understand that noise is continuous. It never stops, and you will always be tempted. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive is their ability to consistently filter, focus, and prioritize. This is a skill that develops with practice. Daily discipline in cutting noise compounds into extraordinary clarity, efficiency, and control over your life. Pause now. Take a deep breath. Look around, notice the distractions, and make the conscious choice to remove them. Every alert silenced, every unnecessary task declined, every irrelevant thought ignored is a brick in the foundation of mastery. Cut the noise. Protect your mind. Focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Chapter 4. Daily rituals of winners. Success is not born from sporadic bursts of effort. It is the result of small, consistent actions taken every day. Most people underestimate the power of daily routines. They think achievement comes from grand gestures, rare moments of inspiration, or dramatic life changes. The reality is different. Mastery comes from simple rituals performed consistently, building momentum over time until excellence becomes automatic. Start by examining your current habits. What do you do every day without fail? How many of those habits serve your goals, and how many simply fill time or provide temporary comfort? Most people are unaware of how much of their day is spent on autopilot, scrolling, reacting, or completing tasks that don't move them forward. These default behaviors reinforce struggle and stagnation. Winners design their routines intentionally. They control their mornings, their energy, and their focus. A key ritual is starting the day with purpose. Begin with a short, deliberate set of actions that align your mind and body with your objectives. This could be reading a page of a powerful book, writing 3 clear intentions for the day, or performing a brief physical routine to energize your body. The exact activity matters less than the consistency. By anchoring your day with intentional action, you set the tone for focus and achievement. Another essential ritual is reflection and planning. Every evening, review what was accomplished and identify areas for improvement. Ask yourself, did I follow my priorities? Where did distractions creep in? What can I adjust tomorrow? This daily audit keeps your actions aligned with your long-term goals, reinforces accountability, and prevents small mistakes from becoming entrenched patterns. Reflection transforms experience into learning. Winners also incorporate micro-practices throughout the day. Short, focused periods of deep work, intentional pauses for mental clarity, and deliberate repetition of key behaviors compound over time. For instance, spending 10 minutes practicing a skill, setting aside uninterrupted focus blocks, or consciously rehearsing positive thought patterns builds competence and confidence. These micro-actions, repeated daily, accumulate into mastery without overwhelming your schedule. Another ritual is energy management. High performers understand that productivity is tied to energy, not time alone. Rituals like hydration, brief exercise, stretching, or meditation create the conditions for peak performance. Ignoring energy levels leads to inefficiency, frustration, and unnecessary struggle. Daily attention to your physical and mental state ensures you can execute consistently without burnout. Social rituals are also important. Winners schedule interactions intentionally. Mentorship, networking, or collaboration, rather than reacting to invitations or obligations that do not serve their goals. They protect time for deep work and meaningful relationships while avoiding energy-draining engagements. These social boundaries become part of the daily rhythm, reinforcing focus and purpose. Accountability rituals strengthen commitment. This can be as simple as sharing goals with a trusted partner, maintaining a journal of progress, or reviewing commitments aloud each morning. By externalizing accountability, you reinforce internal discipline. You are less likely to compromise priorities when your intentions are observed and tracked. The power of daily rituals lies in repetition and consistency. Small, purposeful actions, performed over weeks and months, reshape your behavior, mindset, and ultimately, your life. One page read, one focused hour, one intentional conversation, repeated daily, compounds into significant advantage over time. Most people fail, not because they lack talent, but because they do not harness this compound effect. Practical steps to implement daily rituals. Morning anchor. Choose 2-3 activities that prime your mind and body. Focus blocks. Schedule at least 1 hour of deep, uninterrupted work. Evening reflection. Assess accomplishments and plan improvements. Micro practices. Insert short, targeted actions throughout the day. Energy check. Incorporate movement, hydration, or mindfulness pauses. Accountability. Track progress and report to yourself or a partner. As you establish these daily routines, notice the subtle shift. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Decisions that felt draining become clear. You stop reacting to the day and begin directing it. Momentum builds invisibly, but powerfully. Struggle diminishes because your habits create an environment where success is inevitable. Commit to these rituals. Guard them fiercely. Protect them from distraction and excuses. This is not a temporary experiment. It is a deliberate framework for mastery. Over time, these small, repeated actions define your identity. You become someone who takes control, executes consistently, and thrives regardless of circumstances. Daily rituals are the foundation of winners. They transform intention into action, energy into productivity, and effort into results. Build them, repeat them, let them shape your life. Mastery is not a moment, it is a habit. Chapter 5. Train your focus. Focus is the currency of achievement. Without it, even the best plans, strategies, and intentions fail to produce results. Most people think they are focused, but in reality, attention is scattered across dozens of small tasks, notifications, and distractions. Training your focus is not optional if you want to stop struggling. It is essential. Mastery requires the ability to direct your mental energy deliberately toward what matters most. Begin by assessing how your attention is currently spent. Track your day for a full 24 hours, noting when your mind drifts, when interruptions pull you away, and when you multitask ineffectively. Most people underestimate how much attention is lost to trivial distractions. Recognizing the problem is the first step toward reclaiming control. Awareness of attention patterns creates the space to make intentional choices about what deserves your focus. Next, create dedicated focus blocks. These are periods where you eliminate all distractions, phone silenced, notifications off, and environment optimized. Use techniques such as the Pomodoro method, 25 minutes of uninterrupted work followed by a 5-minute break, or longer intervals of deep work, depending on your task and stamina. During these blocks, commit fully to a single priority. Each completed block strengthens your brain's ability to sustain attention and resist temptation. Another critical strategy is prioritization. Not every task deserves the same mental energy. Each morning, identify your top 3 priorities for the day, the work that will drive the most meaningful results. Focus your best energy on these tasks first. Guard them fiercely. Anything else can wait. Most struggle stems from scattering attention on low-value tasks instead of concentrating on high-impact actions. Training focus also requires internal discipline. The mind is naturally drawn to novelty, gossip, social media, and easy distractions. When the urge to check notifications arises, pause, acknowledge the temptation, and redirect your attention. Ask yourself, does this serve my goal right now? If not, return immediately to the task at hand. This small act of mental redirection, repeated daily, strengthens your cognitive control over time. Energy management is intertwined with focus. Physical and mental fatigue erode concentration, making distractions irresistible. Schedule focus blocks during your peak energy periods. Incorporate short movement breaks, hydration, and mindful breathing to sustain clarity. The sharper your mind, the longer and deeper your focus can be. Protect this resource as carefully as you protect your most valuable assets. Visualization and intentional mental framing enhance focus. Before starting a task, visualize the outcome and the steps to achieve it. Set a clear intention. What exactly will be accomplished in this session? Clarity about the goal anchors attention, reducing drift and increasing the likelihood of completion. Mental rehearsal primes your brain for action and minimizes wasted energy. Consistency matters more than duration. It is better to train focus for 50 minutes every day than for 5 hours sporadically. Your attention muscles strengthen through regular, repeated exercise. Over weeks and months, your ability to concentrate improves, distractions lose power, and productivity accelerates. Focus becomes habitual, automatic, and resilient to the chaos of daily life. Practical steps to train focus. Track attention. Monitor where your mind drifts over 24 hours. Set focus blocks. Schedule uninterrupted periods for priority tasks. Identify top priorities. Commit mental energy to the highest impact actions. Resist distractions. Pause, evaluate, and redirect attention consciously. Manage energy. Schedule focus when alert. Include breaks and hydration. Visualize outcomes. Begin each session with clarity and intention. Repeat consistently. Build the habit of focused work daily. The result of consistent focus training is profound. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Decisions become clearer. Progress accelerates. Struggle diminishes because your attention is now aligned with purpose. Each focused session compounds into momentum, transforming ordinary days into steps toward mastery. Train your focus relentlessly. Protect it fiercely. Make deliberate attention your default state. This is how winners operate. Distractions are no longer obstacles, they are manageable interruptions. With focus as your foundation, you gain the mental power to execute, adapt, and excel. Mastery is the natural outcome when attention is deliberate, disciplined, and unwavering. Chapter 6. Build resilience. Through discomfort. Growth never happens in comfort. Most people avoid discomfort, seeking ease and immediate satisfaction. They procrastinate, excuse, and retreat whenever tasks challenge their patience, endurance, or courage. The truth is this: struggle is inevitable, but how you respond to it defines your success. Building resilience through discomfort is the skill that separates those who succeed from those who merely survive. Discomfort comes in many forms. Cold showers that shock your body into awareness, difficult conversations that test emotional control, early mornings that push you out of cozy routines, or tackling tasks you feel unprepared for. Every time you resist these challenges, you remain in the cycle of struggle. Every time you confront them deliberately, you grow stronger, more capable, and more confident. Start by identifying small daily challenges that push your limits. Choose one task each day that feels uncomfortable but necessary for growth. It could be sending an email you've been avoiding, exercising when you'd rather rest, or learning a skill that intimidates you. The key is consistency. Resilience is built incrementally, not in occasional bursts of courage. Mindset is crucial. When facing discomfort, reframe it as an opportunity instead of a punishment. Instead of thinking, "This is too hard," say, "This is how I become stronger." Instead of avoiding stress, recognize that the resistance you feel is a signal that you are stretching beyond your comfort zone. This shift transforms anxiety into fuel for growth. Develop rituals that integrate discomfort into your routine. For instance, start your day with a challenge that awakens both body and mind. It could be a brief, intense workout, a meditation that brings awareness to your thoughts, or a cold exposure practice. Pair these with reflection. Note how you feel before, during, and after. Over time, your tolerance for discomfort grows and the initial fear diminishes. Discomfort also teaches patience and perseverance. Life does not always reward immediate results. By confronting hard tasks daily, you train yourself to endure uncertainty and delays without panic or avoidance. Each moment of resistance handled successfully strengthens your mental stamina, making future challenges easier to navigate. Journaling is a powerful tool to solidify lessons from discomfort. Write about the challenges you face, your reactions, and the insights gained. Ask, "What did this teach me? How did I respond? What will I do differently next time?" Reflecting on these experiences converts struggle into actionable knowledge, reinforcing resilience. Another practical method is to incrementally increase difficulty. Start with manageable discomfort and gradually escalate intensity. Cold showers may begin with 30 seconds, progressing to several minutes. Uncomfortable conversations can start with low-stakes interactions before addressing high-stakes situations. This progressive overload strengthens not only skill, but confidence in handling future adversity. Resilience also depends on perspective. Understand that discomfort is temporary, but the strength you build is lasting. The nervous system adapts, the mind strengthens, and habits form. When you look back after weeks of deliberate challenges, tasks that once seemed impossible feel achievable. Struggle no longer defines you. It shapes you intentionally. Practical steps to build resilience. Identify a daily challenge that feels uncomfortable but necessary. Reframe perception. View discomfort as growth, not punishment. Start small. Progress gradually. Increase intensity or complexity over time. Use rituals. Integrate body and mind challenges into your routine. Reflect. Journal insights, reactions, and lessons learned. Make resilience a consistent daily practice. Resilience transforms struggle from an obstacle into a tool. By embracing discomfort intentionally, you develop endurance, emotional strength, and clarity under pressure. Challenges that once paralyzed you become opportunities for mastery. You stop fearing struggle and start using it to your advantage. Build resilience. Seek discomfort. Grow stronger each day. Your future self will thank you for the moments you chose to act when it was uncomfortable. Chapter 7. Master emotional control. Emotions are powerful. They shape decisions, influence actions, and determine outcomes. Most people allow their feelings to dictate behavior, reacting impulsively when anger arises, withdrawing when fear emerges, or overindulging in comfort to escape discomfort. This uncontrolled cycle fuels struggle and frustration. Mastering emotional control is essential if you want to take charge of your life and never be a prisoner of reaction. Begin by recognizing that emotions themselves are not the enemy. Feeling anger, fear, or anxiety is human. The problem arises when you let these emotions drive your behavior automatically. The space between feeling and action is where mastery resides. Pause, breathe, observe, choose. This simple framework shifts power from impulsive reaction to intentional response. Awareness is the first step. Notice emotional triggers throughout your day. What situations provoke irritation, anxiety, or doubt? Identify patterns. Maybe a colleague's criticism sets you off, a missed deadline sparks panic, or unexpected changes trigger frustration. By mapping triggers, you begin to understand the source of your reactions and gain the ability to intervene before responding. Next, develop techniques to manage reactions. One effective method is controlled breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4. This regulates physiological responses, calms the nervous system, and creates space for rational thought. Another strategy is mental rehearsal. Visualize potential challenges and practice responding calmly. When the real situation arises, your mind has a blueprint for measured action. Cognitive reframing is equally powerful. When confronted with a negative situation, ask yourself, what is within my control? What is not? How can I respond constructively? By distinguishing between controllable and uncontrollable factors, you reduce unnecessary stress and focus energy on productive action rather than reaction. Daily exercises strengthen emotional resilience. Set aside moments to observe your emotions without judgment. Name them. I feel frustration. I feel fear. Writing them down or silently acknowledging them creates distance and clarity. When you can label emotions without being consumed by them, you gain control over responses rather than letting reactions control you. Consistency in practice is critical. Emotional control is like a muscle. The more you exercise it in small, deliberate ways, the stronger it becomes. Begin with micro-challenges. Remain composed in minor irritations. Pause before responding to a provocative message or deliberately face a small fear. Each successful encounter compounds into greater confidence and stability. Another crucial aspect is preventive preparation. Anticipate emotionally charged situations and plan your response. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a high-pressure task, or unexpected criticism, having a strategy reduces the likelihood of reactive behavior. Preparation breeds confidence and reduces the mental energy spent on worry and fear. Practical steps to master emotional control. Map triggers. Identify situations and interactions that provoke strong emotions. Pause and breathe. Create space between feeling and action. Reframe cognitively. Focus on what you can control. Release what you cannot. Daily observation. Label emotions and reflect without judgment. Practice micro-challenges. Apply calm responses in low-stakes situations. Anticipate and prepare. Plan responses for predictable emotional triggers. Mastering emotional control does not make you emotionless. It makes you deliberate. You feel fully, but act intentionally. Struggle diminishes because reactions are no longer automatic and destructive. Decisions become clearer. Relationships improve and energy is directed toward meaningful action rather than chaos. Embrace emotional mastery. Observe, pause, and respond. The space between stimulus and reaction is yours to command. With practice, emotional control becomes instinctive. You stop being carried by waves of emotion and start navigating life with clarity, stability, and purpose. Chapter 8. Execute with precision. Ideas, plans, and intentions are meaningless without deliberate action. Most people struggle not because they lack knowledge or insight, but because they fail to execute consistently and effectively. The ability to execute with precision transforms potential into results. It turns vision into reality. If you want to stop struggling, you must learn to act deliberately, efficiently, and with clarity. Execution begins with clarity about priorities. Identify what truly matters. Most people scatter their energy across trivial tasks, busy work, and distractions. They confuse activity with productivity. Execution is not about doing more. It is about doing the right things, those actions that create meaningful impact. Focused attention on high-leverage activities separates those who progress from those who remain stuck. Precision is impossible without clarity. When you know what matters most, every decision, every action, and every effort aligns with your goals. Once priorities are clear, break down each task into actionable steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming when viewed as a whole. A massive project or complex ambition often paralyzes people, leaving them stuck in planning or procrastination. By dividing objectives into discrete components, you create a roadmap for progress. Each step becomes manageable, measurable, and achievable. Completing these small tasks builds momentum and keeps you aligned with the overarching goal. The act of completing steps generates confidence, which fuels further action. Time is the vessel through which execution flows. Without managing time effectively, even the best intentions remain dormant. Assign dedicated periods for priority work. Protect these periods from interruptions, distractions, and competing demands. Silence notifications, close irrelevant tabs, and communicate boundaries to those around you. During these blocks, commit fully to the task at hand. Focused, uninterrupted work enhances efficiency, reduces errors, and allows you to execute with intentionality. Execution without focus is wasted effort. Precision and attention to detail are intertwined. You cannot have one without the other. Discipline is essential. The human mind naturally resists effort, seeks comfort, and delays action. Most people wait for motivation, inspiration, or the perfect moment to begin. Mastery requires action regardless of feelings. Commit to starting tasks immediately, maintaining momentum, and completing each step before moving to the next. This discipline creates a compounding effect, where each completed action builds confidence and reinforces the habit of consistent execution. Over time, action becomes automatic and hesitation diminishes. Monitoring outcomes is equally important. Execution without feedback is blind. Observe results carefully, reflect on what worked, what did not, and what can be improved. Precision is iterative. Refine your methods, eliminate inefficiencies, and optimize processes continually. Learning from each attempt ensures that effort compounds into improvement rather than repeated mistakes. The most effective people adjust as they move, integrating feedback seamlessly into their workflow. Visualizations enhances execution further. Before taking action, imagine the steps, anticipate potential obstacles, and plan responses. Mental rehearsal primes your brain for effective performance, reducing hesitation and error. When challenges inevitably arise, you respond according to your plan rather than reacting impulsively. Visualization aligns intention with action, ensuring that effort is directed purposefully toward desired outcomes. Focus and energy management are intertwined with execution. High levels of mental and physical energy enable sustained concentration. Neglect energy, and precision deteriorates. Schedule your most demanding tasks during peak energy periods. Incorporate short breaks, physical activity, and mindful pauses to maintain alertness and clarity. The sharper your mind, the more precise your actions. Protect your energy as rigorously as you protect your time. Both are finite resources, and mastery demands careful stewardship. Execution is also a mental skill. When faced with uncertainty, fear, or complexity, the mind often seeks the easiest route. Avoidance and procrastination are default behaviors for most people. To execute precisely, you must train your mind to act despite discomfort. Confront hesitation directly. Begin the task immediately, even if conditions are not perfect. The act of beginning builds momentum and reduces mental resistance. Precision emerges not from perfect conditions, but from committed action. Reflection and refinement consolidate execution skills. After completing tasks, review performance, identify successes, challenges, and lessons learned. Use this insight to adjust future action. Execution is not a one-off event. It is a continuous cycle of planning, action, observation, and adaptation. This iterative process ensures that you are not only active but effective. Over time, the combination of focus, discipline, and reflection develops a standard of precision that becomes part of your identity. In addition to structured work, attention to detail is critical. Precision requires that each action be deliberate, complete, and aligned with the intended outcome. Avoid shortcuts that compromise quality. Completing tasks thoroughly builds credibility, strengthens habits, and produces reliable results. Inconsistent or sloppy execution erodes momentum, confidence, and long-term progress. Accountability reinforces precise execution. Share goals with trusted peers or mentors. Create systems that track progress and flag deviations. Accountability transforms intention into commitment. When actions are observed, recorded, or reported, the mind treats them with greater seriousness. Accountability, combined with personal discipline, ensures that execution is consistent and aligned with desired outcomes. Simplicity is another key to precision. Avoid overcomplicating processes. The more steps, the greater the chance for error or distraction. Streamline workflows and focus on what directly contributes to results. Eliminate unnecessary complexity. Simplicity allows your attention and energy to be fully applied to essential actions. Precision thrives in environments where focus is not diluted by trivialities. Execution with precision also requires persistence. Rarely does a single effort yield complete results. Mastery emerges from repeated, deliberate action over time. Daily, consistent practice builds skill, sharpens judgment, and reinforces confidence. This is the compounding power of disciplined execution. Small, consistent efforts create exponential results over weeks, months, and years. Finally, execution is the bridge between vision and reality. Planning, knowledge, and strategy mean little without action. The difference between struggling and thriving is not intention, but movement. When you act deliberately, monitor outcomes, refine processes, and sustain focus, you transform challenges into opportunities and potential into achievement. Commit to execution. Guard your focus. Protect your energy. Act deliberately. Each step taken with precision builds momentum, develops skill, and eliminates struggle. Precision in action is mastery in practice. Over time, deliberate execution becomes second nature, producing consistent results, reducing struggle, and establishing the foundation for success. Master execution, and you master the path from intention to reality. Chapter 9. Track and measure. Progress. Execution alone is not enough. Even the most deliberate actions can lose impact if they go unmonitored. Most people struggle because they act blindly, without knowing whether their efforts lead to real results. Tracking and measuring progress is the compass that guides you. Without it, you drift, repeat mistakes, and remain stuck. To master your life and stop struggling, you must make observation and measurement a daily practice. Begin by identifying the key indicators of progress. What outcomes signify success in your priorities? It could be tangible metrics like completed tasks, milestones reached, or revenue earned, or qualitative signals like skill improvement, increased clarity, or confidence. The important aspect is clarity. You must know what progress looks like to recognize it. Without benchmarks, effort becomes noise. Next, establish a simple system to monitor these indicators. Journals, spreadsheets, apps, or even simple checklists can serve this purpose. The goal is not complexity, but consistency. Each day, record what was accomplished, obstacles encountered, lessons learned, and adjustments for tomorrow. This daily accountability transforms scattered effort into deliberate, measurable advancement. Measurement also builds awareness. Many people underestimate how often they repeat ineffective behaviors. Tracking allows you to identify patterns, recurring distractions, repeated mistakes, or ineffective strategies. Observation uncovers what works and what does not. Awareness of these patterns is the first step toward improvement. Without it, you risk wasting energy on tasks that do not move you closer to mastery. Reflection is another key component. After each week, review your logs. Assess which actions yielded results, which did not, and why. Ask yourself, what can I change to increase efficiency and impact? Which habits are compounding into progress, and which are draining energy? Reflection turns raw data into actionable insight. Without reflection, measurement is incomplete. Practical strategies to track progress include setting daily, weekly, and monthly reviews. Each day, note accomplishments and immediate lessons. Each week, identify trends, evaluate priorities, and refine strategies. Each month, assess whether the cumulative actions align with long-term goals. This layered approach ensures that short-term actions feed into long-term outcomes. Another element is visual feedback. Use charts, progress bars, or habit trackers to create tangible evidence of improvement. The visual representation of progress reinforces motivation and highlights areas needing attention. Humans respond strongly to visual cues, and seeing improvement, no matter how small, creates momentum. Consistency in tracking is critical. Measurement is only valuable if it is regular. Sporadic reviews create gaps in awareness and allow unproductive patterns to continue. Make tracking a non-negotiable habit. Treat it as an essential component of execution, not an optional add-on. Daily recording, reflection, and adjustment embed learning into action. making each step more effective than the last. Tracking progress also enhances focus. When you know that each action will be measured, you become more deliberate. Tasks that might otherwise be done half-heartedly are approached with precision. Accountability to yourself, reinforced by visible records, reduces procrastination and increases intentionality. You begin to act as though every moment contributes to measurable growth, because it does. Reflection and adaptation are ongoing. No plan is perfect, and execution rarely proceeds exactly as intended. Monitoring results allows you to pivot, refine, and optimize. It turns obstacles into learning opportunities and failures into feedback. This adaptability is a hallmark of mastery, the ability to learn and adjust continuously without losing momentum or confidence. Practical steps to track and measure progress. Record key metrics daily, reflecting accomplishments, obstacles, and lessons. Conduct weekly reviews to identify trends and refine strategies. Assess alignment with long-term goals monthly. Use visual cues to reinforce momentum and maintain awareness. Adapt strategies based on insights gained, continuously improving effectiveness. When progress is tracked and measured consistently, struggle diminishes. You no longer wonder whether effort is meaningful. You see the results of your actions, adjust intelligently, and accelerate toward mastery. The process transforms chaos into clarity, confusion into actionable insight, and effort into tangible achievement. By making tracking and measurement a daily habit, you create a feedback loop that strengthens focus, enhances execution, and ensures consistent growth. The invisible forces that once caused struggle are illuminated, understood, and controlled. Mastery is built not only through action, but through observation. Track, measure, reflect, adjust. These steps turn ordinary effort into extraordinary results, ensuring that every action contributes to your path of mastery and freedom from struggle. Chapter 10. Sustain mastery. Daily. Mastery is not a single achievement. It is the accumulation of consistent action, deliberate practice, and intentional living. Most people struggle because they treat progress as a one-time event or a series of isolated efforts. True mastery is sustained, daily, over time. To stop struggling and maintain control over your life, you must integrate practices that reinforce skill, focus, and discipline into your everyday routine. Begin by identifying core habits that underpin success. These are the behaviors that, if performed consistently, produce the greatest impact on your growth, mindset, and results. Core habits vary by individual, but they share common characteristics. They are repeatable, measurable, and aligned with your highest priorities. Examples include focused work sessions, deliberate reflection, physical activity, and intentional planning. Establishing and protecting these habits is the foundation of sustainable mastery. Consistency is essential. One successful day does not create lasting change. Repetition compounds small wins into significant transformation. Approach mastery like a compound investment. Small, disciplined actions accumulate over time, producing exponential returns. Daily commitment is more valuable than occasional bursts of effort. Struggle persists when actions are inconsistent. Progress accelerates when habits are embedded in your routine. Ritualize key behaviors to make them automatic. Embed practices into your morning, midday, and evening routines so they require less willpower to maintain. For instance, start each morning with a ritual that primes your mind for focus, such as journaling intentions, reviewing priorities, or visualizing outcomes. Midday, reinforce energy and attention through micro breaks, focused practice, or brief reflection. End the day by reviewing accomplishments, noting lessons, and preparing for tomorrow. Repetition solidifies these behaviors, reducing friction and increasing reliability. Sustainment also involves environmental alignment. Surround yourself with cues that support your core habits and remove elements that undermine them. A cluttered workspace, constant notifications, or exposure to negative influences erode consistency and precision. Winners design their environments to reinforce action, focus, and growth. This reduces reliance on motivation and increases the likelihood of adhering to key behaviors without conscious effort. Accountability reinforces daily practice. Share goals, progress, and challenges with a trusted partner, mentor, or system that tracks your commitments. External accountability magnifies internal discipline. It motivates follow-through and helps maintain perspective when momentum falters. Daily reporting, even brief, strengthens commitment and ensures alignment between intention and action. Reflection transforms activity into learning. Each day, review what worked, what did not, and why. Identify moments when focus was lost, execution faltered, or emotions interfered. Adjust strategies accordingly. Reflection creates awareness, which fuels smarter decisions tomorrow. Without reflection, even consistent action can fail to produce mastery. Insight and adaptation are as critical as effort itself. Preparation is another pillar. Anticipate challenges, obstacles, and high-pressure situations. Plan how you will respond, maintain composure, and sustain execution under stress. Preparedness reduces reactive mistakes and increases the likelihood that daily practices translate into long-term mastery. By planning for adversity, you transform potential setbacks into opportunities for reinforcement. Sustaining mastery also requires attention to mindset. Daily affirmation of your identity and purpose reinforces alignment between actions and intentions. Remind yourself of your long-term goals and the person you are becoming. When actions and identity are congruent, motivation is less needed and precision in execution becomes automatic. Your mind and habits work in harmony, reducing struggle and increasing momentum. Practical steps to sustain mastery. Anchor core habits into morning, midday, and evening routines. Design your environment to support focus, reduce friction, and remove distractions. Maintain accountability through partners, journaling, or tracking systems. Reflect daily on progress, setbacks, and lessons learned. Prepare for challenges to maintain consistency under pressure. Reinforce identity and purpose to align actions with long-term goals. Repeat relentlessly, building habits into automatic behaviors that define your life. By embedding these practices daily, mastery becomes part of your identity rather than a temporary achievement. Struggle diminishes because your environment, routines, and mindset align with action, focus, and growth. Momentum builds invisibly but powerfully, compounding into lasting competence, confidence, and clarity. Sustain mastery. Protect your habits. Align your mind, environment, and actions. Each day you follow this path, struggle recedes, and the person you are becoming rises steadily. Daily discipline transforms effort into effortless performance, uncertainty into control, and potential into realized achievement. As we reach the end of this journey, it's important to understand that mastery is not a destination. It is a process, a continuous cycle of learning, acting, reflecting, and improving. Most people struggle throughout life because they treat progress as a series of isolated efforts rather than a consistent, deliberate pursuit. The difference between those who remain stuck and those who thrive lies not in talent, intelligence, or luck. It lies in ownership, discipline, and intentional action. By now, you have explored 10 fundamental principles that, when applied consistently, provide the foundation for living a life free from unnecessary struggle. These principles are awareness of hidden barriers, ownership of mindset, cutting distractions, establishing daily rituals, training focus, building resilience, mastering emotional control, executing with precision, tracking progress, and sustaining mastery daily. It's natural to reflect on what this all means. Awareness of hidden barriers alone will not create change unless it translates into deliberate action. Ownership of mindset will remain theoretical unless it guides your choices each day. Cutting noise and distractions will only matter if you consistently protect your attention. Each chapter in this audiobook is not a standalone lesson. It is part of a holistic system designed to reinforce every other component. Mastery is cumulative. The work you put in today compounds into the person you will become tomorrow. Consider the concept of compounding in its simplest form. A single focused effort may seem insignificant on its own, but repeated consistently over time, it becomes transformative. Each micro-action, each moment of discipline, each instance where you choose to act instead of react, contributes to building momentum. Over days, weeks, and months, these actions accumulate, reshaping habits, reinforcing your identity, and creating a life where struggle is no longer a default state. Momentum is the hidden force behind mastery, and it is built one deliberate choice at a time. Reflection is essential in this process. Take time regularly to evaluate where you stand. Observe the results of your actions, identify patterns of success, and recognize areas for adjustment. Reflection ensures that you are not merely busy, but productive. It converts experience into knowledge, knowledge into insight, and insight into refined action. Without reflection, repetition may reinforce ineffective habits rather than propel you toward mastery. By consistently reviewing and adjusting, you maintain alignment between your intentions and outcomes. One of the most powerful aspects of this journey is understanding the interplay between mindset and behavior. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions reinforce your thoughts. A positive, disciplined mindset enables deliberate action. Deliberate action reinforces a strong, empowered mindset. This cycle becomes self-sustaining. Conversely, neglecting either element perpetuates struggle. Emotional control, focus, and resilience are cultivated through both intentional thinking and consistent practice. Mastery is the alignment of mind, behavior, and environment, working in harmony toward your goals. The role of discomfort cannot be overstated. Growth and mastery are forged in moments of challenge. Avoiding discomfort prolongs struggle. Embracing it accelerates development. Each instance where you act despite fear, fatigue, or uncertainty strengthens your capacity for future challenges. Resilience is not built in comfort zones. It is built through deliberate confrontation with difficulty. By adopting a mindset that views challenges as opportunities, you transform obstacles into instruments of growth. Consistency is the glue that binds all these principles together. One-time efforts, bursts of motivation, or sporadic discipline produce limited results. True mastery emerges from sustained, repeated action. Daily rituals, protected focus, and intentional reflection ensure that your momentum does not waver. Over time, these consistent actions shape not only your capabilities, but also your identity. You become someone who executes with precision, who handles adversity with calm, and who navigates life intentionally rather than reactively. Tracking progress is the compass that keeps you on course. Without measurement, you cannot discern whether your efforts are effective. Observation, journaling, and review allow you to identify strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities. Tracking also reinforces accountability, both internally and externally, ensuring that your actions align with your intentions. Measurement converts abstract effort into concrete insight, which is essential for continuous improvement and sustained mastery. Execution with precision is the manifestation of all preparation, planning, and discipline. The ability to act deliberately, efficiently, and intentionally determines whether knowledge and strategy result in tangible outcomes. Precision ensures that effort is not wasted and that each action contributes meaningfully to your objectives. When your execution is aligned with clarity, focus, and purpose, struggle diminishes because every effort is impactful, every decision is informed, and every step advances you toward mastery. Sustaining mastery daily is the final layer that consolidates all the principles. Mastery is not built in a single week, month, or year. It is forged through persistent, intentional action over time. Embedding core habits into your daily routine, maintaining focus, protecting your energy, reflecting consistently, and preparing for challenges ensures that your progress is continuous and resilient. Daily practice transforms actions into automatic behaviors, behaviors into identity, and identity into a life where struggle is minimized and achievement becomes a natural outcome. The process of mastery is not easy. It demands honesty, discipline, and courage. You will encounter setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when progress feels slow. These moments are not failures. They are signals, guides, and opportunities for adjustment. Struggle does not disappear entirely, but your ability to navigate it becomes stronger, more deliberate, and more effective. Mastery equips you with tools, mindset, and habits that allow you to approach life with confidence, clarity, and control. Finally, take a moment to visualize the impact of applying these principles consistently. Imagine waking up each day with clear purpose, executing actions that align with your highest priorities, responding to challenges with calm and precision, and consistently tracking progress toward meaningful goals. Over time, the accumulation of these practices transforms not only your results, but your identity. You become the type of person who faces adversity with confidence, makes deliberate choices, and moves steadily toward excellence. Struggle fades because your systems, habits, and mindset are designed to support mastery, not react to chaos. Commit to this path. Begin with one principle today. Apply it consistently. Reflect on its effects. Layer in the next principle tomorrow. Build momentum, cultivate habits, strengthen your mindset, and refine your execution. This is how ordinary effort evolves into extraordinary mastery. Each day is a step toward the life you envision. Each action compounds into results, shaping both who you are and what you achieve. Mastery is not reserved for the few. It is accessible to anyone willing to act deliberately, observe carefully, and persist consistently. The principles you have learned are your blueprint. Apply them daily. Guard your focus, own your mindset, embrace discomfort, execute with precision, and sustain these practices relentlessly. The person you will become as a result is someone who moves through life with confidence, clarity, and freedom from struggle. Remember, mastery is a habit, not a moment. Progress is a choice, not a coincidence. The life you desire is created through intentional action, consistent reflection, and disciplined execution. Struggle will no longer define you. Momentum will carry you. Precision will guide you. Your identity will align with your intentions, producing results that once seemed impossible.